I came here very late. I see people come here with certain goals, and as soon as they come here, they forget about that goal. Did not realize how difficult.
Hi, Ketan.
Hello, hi, Jets. How are you
Thanks,
doing?
thanks a lot for coming today, joining us. I really appreciate your story because I know you a little bit, and I would love to show your story to the world because there are so many people in a similar situation when they come, for example, to Australia and they struggle to start from zero. And I know that you started from zero, went through all of this journey, and you now have something to share with people. So tell me about very much beginning of your journey when you have been starting from zero.
Yeah, definitely. It's kind of a heavy question, but I'll try. So basically, I came here in March 2024. I basically came here just like 2 days before my uni was started. So I came here very late.
Wow.
I kind of missed my orientation week as well because I had some stuff that I had to do back home. So when I came here, I did not have any friends. I missed orientation week, so I did not know my way around the university or anything of sort. So I had only a couple of days to catch up to everything. So I went to uni. I talked to a lot of people like what can be done. So it was really hectic at the start, but yeah, I mean, this is what I have been doing because I'm not a person who plan things very well,
Okay.
but that worked out well. I guess.
All right. So 2 days in Australia in a new country on
Yeah.
a new continent. What was the main shock for you to figure out? Okay, I have just 2 days. What should I do?
So initially, summer in Melbourne, like we have long days. So the sunset used to go. Sunset used to happen around 8:30 or 9 p.m. at the night. So that was really difficult because when I used to look out the window, I was like, it's 4 p.m. or it's 5 p.m. It's the start of the evening. But I used to then look at my watch and I was like, oh, it's 8:30, 9 p.m. It's dinner time. So that was really difficult at start. And another thing I found difficult is shops used to get close early like 5 p.m. 6 p.m. Not all the shops, but yeah, most of the usual things, and people close shops early and head back home. So that was kind of a culture thing that
Yeah.
I got to know when I actually came here. So because that's kind of the opposite thing on the in the India that we have.
Yeah. I totally understand you actually because in Ukraine it's similar situation. Probably after work, when work finishes like 5 p.m., 6 p.m., people only start going to the shopping center. And shopping centers are usually open till 10, 11 p.m.,
Yeah.
all the shops. And you kind of have this gap of 3 to 4 hours
Yeah.
to go and shopping. While here in Australia, it's quite opposite, right?
Yeah.
Everyone finishes at the same time and you're like, okay, where do I buy a new t-shirt for me, right?
Yeah, correct. Like back in India, after 5 p.m., 6 p.m., when we finish off work, there is all sorts of activity that you could do. I mean, you could go out with your friends,
Yeah.
have some food or something to eat with your friends or something like that. But people here don't do that as much. I mean, they go home, or they have other activities that they need to take care of. So it's a cultural thing, and it's really good, I guess.
How long did it take you to overcome this cultural shock or get used to new?
It took me a lot of time, I guess. I mean, personally, it took me at least a month to get used to everything, time, culture. Then I did not know how to cook as well, so so that was another difficult thing for me. So finding supermarkets, talking to people, because I naturally I'm an introvert, so it is difficult for me to get used to with a lot of things. I mean, to talk to someone or ask someone about something. So it took me a while, but it took me a strong 1 month to get used to everything around here.
Is there one thing that you wish someone would tell you before you migrated to Australia?
There are a lot of things I would say, but one of the best advice I actually got, but I did not go through, was to either have my car license or get my driving license as soon as possible over here, because initially I did not realize how difficult public transport can get in near future when you actually get a job which is far away from your home. That advice I already gotten, but I did not follow through it. But fortunate for me, I got my job at a walking distance somewhere.
That's really good.
Yeah, that
It's
was really
helpful.
good.
Yeah.
But I still haven't gotten my driving license. So I'm keen to get it. But yeah, I mean, that is something I would suggest everyone to. I mean, if like especially if you're coming from India, you would have 6 months to get your driving license. You can use your Indian license here, so use that to know all the driving rules around here. Drive and get comfortable so that you can get the driving license at the first go. And if you're comfortable and if you have some financial backup, save some amount for buying a car as well. So that will definitely help you and open up a lot of opportunities here.
Yeah. You said there are a lot more advices that you would love to get earlier.
Yeah.
Could you name a few more of them?
Very low underrated advice would be to get to know Australian culture as early as possible, because people don't emphasize it enough. If you're coming in a different country, getting to know their sport, getting to know their food, how people talk, how quirky they get, or how you can have a friendly chat with them. So that sort of things, I mean, definitely gives you benefit over time. You can build your network. You can apply for jobs early if you know how to able to talk to people. So definitely know beforehand like how Australia works, what people like around here, so that you can have that friendly chat with anyone around here to build the network. I mean, that's what I have been still working on, because as I told you, I'm an introvert, but I'm still working on that thing. But if you can build that beforehand, then definitely that will help you a lot here.
Yeah. So you're in Australia now almost 2 years, right?
Almost 2 years. This March I'll finish up. Yeah.
Was there one mistake that you would like to avoid during these 2 years that you made? And
I mean, it's kind of a one mistake I did was I was too focused on my studies, working part time, that I missed out a lot on exploring Australia, talking to different people, meeting different people, and I'm still doing the same thing, to be honest, because now I'm busy in work at the moment. But this one like suggestion that I had gotten from my friends, because I haven't been anywhere around Melbourne. Instead, I chose to do part-time work or do assignments or do different things. But whenever you get a chance, explore things, talk to people, go outside, try to make some new friends, build network around this.
get more culture.
Yeah, get more culture. Yeah, I would
Absolutely.
say.
So in uni, what field did you choose to study?
So I did my master's in AI as a professional, and my major was data science.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why AI?
It's kind of a funny question, to be honest. I mean, maybe it will shock everyone, but I come from a mechanical background. So I did my bachelor's in mechanical. As I was working in my field as a design engineer, I got an opportunity to learn Python development, because I was working on a software which had a plugin that I wanted to do something, and that allowed me to learn Python development at that time. And as soon as I learned and saw the output, I got really fascinated through that. I was like, oh, this is something cool, that I had written some code and that was working somewhere. So I got into learning data science, machine learning, and as soon as I learned some machine learning models where you could give some output and try to predict something, so that that feeling was really good to build something, to have a data, clean it, then build some model around it so that you can predict something. I understood that not just learning machine learning or AI is gonna help me create a business solution. So I need to learn front end development, back end development, try to create a whole solution. So I went more deeper into it. As Gen AI started booming, so I kind of went into creating AI chatbots, voice AI applications. So since past 2-3 years, I've been into that field. And currently, with Sophia as well, I've been building their AI office manager and expanding their voice AI application.
How long did it take you to get your first job from the very beginning when you just started learning the Python?
So I basically quit my job in January 2020 because I had decided that I wanted to do something in the software field. But unfortunately for me, like the pandemic came and the lockdown happened. It happened, I think, during around March in India. So I had no job, I had no savings, and everything was shut down at that time. It took me around at least 4 to 5 months to learn about machine learning, to build some confidence in me that I can do software development, because I was coming from a completely different background. Like in mechanical, you hardly get to play around with softwares or something like that. I got an opportunity to work at a startup. So because of pandemic, like they were looking for someone to start, and I started working for them for free for some time. And like, because I'm a hardworking person, so I delved deep into their application, learned all of the stuff as early as possible. So within a month or two, I got onto their payroll. So that's how my
well done.
that's how
that's
my
great.
journey started.
Yeah. So if someone like you would be starting from the very much beginning right now in 2026, what would be a few advice that you would like to give them what to start with? Where
Specifically IT or in AI?
in AI.
When I started, there were no resources. The jobs were like there were very few jobs. And if you had to build something, you need high-end computers or high-end data or something like that. But now, after we have been like because of all the open source and generative AI models, you don't need to worry how AI is built or how you can fine tune AI. You can just build application layer on top of the AI, and that's what people have been doing. And it's very easy. Take any generative AI, for example, ChatGPT or Claude, and start with the integration stuff. Like if you work mostly on any application, for example, Photoshop or Excel or Google Docs or something like that, start with understanding how these applications applications connect to this different third-party tools, because that will give you access to bring in more context into the AI model. So
Right.
that would be the first step. And once you understand how this integration is happening, you can use that AI model to literally do anything on top of it. So start with a small repetitive task that you would want to automate through AI. So for example, if I have an Excel sheet that I fill up every day for some work, so I'll try to connect that with my Claude AI, which is very easy to be honest, but maybe because I'm an AI engineer,
Probably,
that's,
yeah. Because
that's
for
why.
me, it sounds like, oh, connect, like, should I? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so connect the Excel file to my Claude AI, and whatever the work that I'm doing on daily basis, I can offload it to my Claude and see how good or bad that AI is doing, and depending upon that, try do some trial and error and try to find the best prompt that is working for me. And that should be the first step everyone should do. That's what I've tell my friends as well, to look for something to automate.
How much did you learn at uni, and how much did you learn from exploring, researching, watching YouTube?
Like uni has some kind of a constraint in terms of syllabus, in terms of tools that they can provide, because especially for my degree, every day there is new thing, every day there is a new tool that needs to be learned. So obviously university can't keep up with that. But yeah, they have given me certain tools, they have given me certain access to a network. Already had some experience in AI before coming to the uni.
And I know that you kind of pivoted slightly to the voice AI.
Yep.
What's the difference between having just AI and voice AI?
Basically, it's like trying to mimic how a human would react with the voice AI, trying to have a natural conversations like what we are having at the moment. So it's really different than what a generative AI is at the moment. With voice AI, different sorts of difficulties comes to picture. You need to have speech to text in place for able to understand what a human is trying to do. Then you need to have a LLM layer that is kind of the brain of the voice AI, that will generate the answer and trying to understand what is the intent of the caller.
Yeah.
Then trying to understand what the answer to generate. And after that, there is a text to speech. That is the most important layer in my personal opinion, because this will give you an answer in such a way that it feels like it's a human conversation or it's a natural conversation within maybe 300-400 milliseconds max, to be able to have that natural conversation what we are having.
Yeah,
So
okay.
it becomes a difficult case, because it's not related to AI, it's related to infrastructure as well, because you need to have high infrastructure, you need to have low throughput, high throughput and low latency. So that sort of software engineering things also comes into the picture. From one end to the other end, how much time it takes for something to happen. So that's basically is latency. So if I am saying something and you're hearing that thing, then you're making something out of it in your brain, then trying to generate a response, and then you're saying something. So that loop is called latency.
This period of time between you said something and I'm gonna say something, this called latency.
Latency,
Okay,
yeah.
all
This
right.
is something kind of we use, and ideally in a real world and in a happy place, like the low latency applications are considered to be the best.
Okay.
So in ideal case scenario, like human latency to understand each other and to provide a response is around 100 milliseconds to 200 milliseconds.
Okay.
So that's
What is it currently in AI?
In AI, it's around 500 milliseconds to 1.5 seconds. So
okay,
that
it's five times
longer
okay.
than
But
there are
it's
some
coming
yeah, it's coming shorter.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that before like 2-3 years we had a latency of 2 seconds, 2.5 seconds. So we are kind of reducing the gap there. Yeah, shortening the gap there.
How do you use voice AI on a daily basis for your personal needs?
At my workplace or my personal needs?
Personal.
Personal needs. To be honest, like recently, I have been working majorly with ChatGPT and Claude, like their max versions. And what at the moment what I'm trying to do is using command and instructions, we can let the generative AI know what I'm trying to do in a software. At the moment, like it's 50-50. I'm doing some type of coding by myself and letting Claude or ChatGPT handle the rest of the stuff. But instead of typing that thing, I can actually command it through my voice as well. So Claude does not have that inbuilt inside, but ChatGPT does have it. So I've been experimenting with that a lot. Like I can have like my voice input to tell my generative AI, like AI model, to do something, and how good or bad it is doing, and then it is coming back to me and saying it's not working, or that loop I'm trying to figure out how communication stuff. So that is interesting, something interesting that I've been trying to do.
It's really interesting, because I'm thinking, how would businesses implement this, or should every business implement voice AI currently?
I wouldn't say every every business needs AI or generative AI, because that would be a big statement, I would say.
Are there any particular business industries that would benefit from voice AI mostly?
Yeah, I have seen in particular case, especially in health sector, where doctors or receptionists are using this a lot to book the appointments, to do some follow-ups, to get patient data. So that sort of stuff I think would be great, because that will keep the doctor and everyone around to do, to be able to let them do all the important stuff, and whatever we can automate, and whatever the menial things that we can offload to generative AI. So that is a good case for that as well. I have seen some legal applications as well, like some advocates and all of those people as well using voice AI heavily nowadays. And with Sophia as well, I have seen like many small scale companies like tradies, plumbers, electricians are as well started adopting to these things. So it's becoming a norm now to use voice AI. But to generalize this thing, I would say where we have high volume of calls, then if high volume of calls and low resources we have against it, or an application where we need to do bookings a lot, appointments a lot, follow up questions are there, where small teams can't handle it, that's where we need to use voice AI a lot. So yeah, that is something to be.
And if we're talking not only about voice AI, but AI in general, what are the easiest ways for small businesses to start implementing AI across the business system?
First try to figure out what all the repetitive or menial jobs that you have, that is important to the organization, but not as important that it could mess up the whole organization. So try to find those jobs, and there are definitely many tools, like as I had suggested, we can learn about chat GPT, how to use chat GPT, how to use Claude. You can use Anytime platform as well, where you have all sorts of tools, plugins available. For example, if you want to connect your AI with WhatsApp, you can do that on Anytime easily. If you want to create a content delivery pipeline for your Instagram or your Facebook or LinkedIn channel, you can do that on Anytime platform as well. So there are tools available that you can learn. Don't try to get overwhelmed with all of these models, because every day there is a new thing, there is a new tool. So,
exactly, yeah.
So I mean, you need to have. You need to get the flavor of AI. So try to learn one platform, create multiple things around it, and then try to find the best way to automate that stuff, or try to find the best model that will get your work done.
Business owners usually don't have so much time, as you said, to explore all the new things, and every day coming something new, every day new model comes, every tool comes every day probably. And I would imagine if you're a business owner, you're quite confused, like, okay, I need to do all my business stuff, but also follow all the AI tools. And should I implement it right now or wait a little bit more? Is there a way to stay relevant and up to date with all the fast-paced changing field for the business owner? How would you do this?
Yeah, I mean, there are a lot of YouTube channels are there, I would say, and there are some newsletters as well that you can subscribe to, try to consume some content or some blogs around it, like how people are using it. Or you can try to find similar niches that are available around you, or you can try to find how other people are trying to do this. Because learning, or at least having some hands-on knowledge on AI, it's kind of the need of the hour at the moment. Because in my current organization, I see not only me, but my co-founders, like my sales team, my customer support team, everybody is using AI at the moment. Once you learn AI, you would unlock a potential. It's kind of a employee that you have at your hand that you can offload some tasks to. So I mean, why wouldn't you want to have another employee that is working for you? So that's the question. It's just a matter of how and when you're going to use it.
You've obviously came such a long way from being an immigrant in Australia and having just 2 days to figure out what's going on, and coming to the point when you're, I would say, successful, right, in the company where you are now. As an immigrant, what would be a few habits that you would learn from the very beginning to start building this up to be successful?
How to keep yourself motivated, to be stay disciplined for a long period of time. Because I see people come here with certain goals, and as soon as they come here, they forget about that goal. So maybe have a long term goal in mind whenever you are coming here, so that will kind of give you a direction that you would want to go in. So whenever you think of something, or you think of an action, or if you're trying to study something, if you're trying to work in a particular field, so you will have that thing in your mind. So that is something I would suggest everyone to have a goal, and try to follow it as much as they can. Secondly, I mean, try to keep yourself healthy. Because I see people, when they come around here trying to manage multiple things like part-time jobs and study, they don't take care of their health. having stress, it kind of has a toll on your mental and physical health as well. So I would say, go to gym or do any sorts of activity that you can try, because a physical health is the most important thing in my personal opinion. So if you have a good physical health, then you can try to do
Everything.
all sorts of things. I mean, then you will have energy to do all sorts of things. So do whatever you like. Go to swimming, go to surfing, try running, go to gym. So at least have those some habits in your day to day life to be able to get successful.
What helped you to be disciplined during such a long period of time?
It kind of it's something inbuilt in me, to be honest.
Okay.
That like if I have a goal, or I know what I'm trying to do, then that kind of motivates me, and that kind of keeps me disciplined to do something. If I want to do something, then I'll do it. That something keeps me disciplined. But if you're someone that you can't keep yourself motivated or something like that, maybe you can try to dissect your goal into multiple chunks, like maybe have a 1 month goal or a 1 week goal or 15 days goal or something like that. So that will definitely help you to stay on track. And at least maybe sometimes we keep a goal of 6 months, but it doesn't happen in 6 months, but at least you're in the right direction.
Yeah.
And eventually maybe after 7 months, 8 months, 9 months, you will reach there. So try to shorten the goal length. Try to have maybe daily, weekly, monthly goals,
Yeah.
and that will definitely help.
Was there any moment when you were like, oh my God, it's so complicated. Like, I'm new to the country. There are so many different cultural
Yeah.
points. It's all different. Like, maybe I just go home and keep what I was doing.
I mean, that's a good question, to be honest. And the simple answer is I can't quit.
There is no way out
There
of
is
the
no
system.
way I would go back, or that this early. I mean, without establishing something. But yeah, I mean, there are a lot of things. To be honest, I came here at a very at an age where my family is dependent on me. So that was a really difficult time for me as well, because they are dependent on me. I am in a different country. I'm trying to figure out myself, trying to get myself up. Do something in Australia.
Do you feel pressure on yourself that you know how to deliver?
Yeah, I mean, not from my family. I mean, of course, they are very supportive and
Yeah.
everything. But at the back of my head, I always have that pressure, and I always had that thought in my mind that if I don't do something here, then it's a failure, or I'll have to go back with nothing to show for it. So that pressure was definitely there. But I channeled that pressure into being motivated and being disciplined towards my goal. So as I said, I did not like explore Australia, because I had this pressure on the back of my head to build something around very quickly, so that I'll be able to support my family back home. And I have certain goals as well that I need to reach. So that was kind of the motivation, and maybe that helped me to stay on track and achieve, like, get my job in like 1 year or span of time, very early, be full time in a product based company. So maybe that helped me a lot to stay on track and achieve great things very early, I would say.
Yeah, it's a beautiful journey. I think you have. All right, thanks a lot, Ketan, for joining us today and sharing your beautiful story. I believe that everyone should hear this, because people struggle, people have doubts, and people sometimes don't know where to start.
Yeah.
I'm really glad you figured this out, and I'm really glad that you found the way how to stay disciplined and motivated, and it's amazing.
Yeah, it's amazing, and thank you for having me here. It was kind of difficult, but we
Yeah.
managed to get through it.
Yeah, well done.
Yeah.
Awesome, great.
Yeah, I thank myself.
Well, yeah. Yeah, no one will thank you, bro.
Yeah, obviously.